National artists and their contribution. Pablo S. Antonio, National Artist for Architecture 1976. National Artist for Architecture Pablo Soberano Antonio pioneered modern Philippine architecture. The founder of Far Eastern University, Nicanor Reyes, dealt with him to make several buildings in the campus. The FEU campus is considered as the largest ensemble of surviving art architecture in Manila, and in 2005 it received an honorable mention citation from the UNESCO for the body's 2005 Asia Pacific Heritage Award for Culture Heritage Conservation.
Antonio influences design in based on simplicity and clean structural design. The lines are clean and smooth, and where there are curves, they are made integral to the structure. Ildefonso P. Santos Jr. was an architect by education, an artist in his passion, and landscapes architect by profession. His landscapes were linear with abundant use of concrete, but these were softened by mix of patterns, textures, and materials, obtaining the malamig sa mata of which he so often spoken. The use of mass plantings in his soundscapes was his trademark, creating a visual feast of colors and textures. He distinguished himself by pioneering price of landscape and architecture. He is the father of the Philippine Landscape Architecture, awarded the National Artist Honor in 2006. Example of his artworks: Ortigas Center and Paco Park. Leandro V. Locsin, National Artist for Architecture 1990, reshaped the urban landscapes with a distinctive architecture reflective of Philippine architecture. Is the product of two great streams of culture, the Oriental and the Occidental, to produce a new project of profound harmony. It is this synthesis that underlines all his works, with his achievements in concrete reflecting his mastery of shape and scales. From 1955 to 1994, Locsin has produced 75 residences and 88 buildings, including 11 churches and chapels, 23 public buildings, 48 commercial buildings, 6 major hotel and airport terminal building. Locsin's largest single work is the Istana Nur al-Iman, the Palace of Sultan of Brunei, which has a floor area of 2.2 million square feet. Jose Maria V. Zaragoza, National Artist for Architecture. Jose Maria V. Zaragoza's place in Philippine architecture history is defined by a significant body of modern edifices that address spiritual and secular requirements. Zaragoza is a Philippine architect known for designing several edifices during the post-war era. His works include the Miracle Building in Ortigas Union Church of Manila and Santo Domingo Church in Quezon City. Zaragoza's name is synonymous to modern ecclesiastical architecture, notwithstanding his affinity to liturgical structures. Juan Nakpil, National Artist for Architecture. Juan Nakpil is an architect, teacher, and civic leader. He is a pioneer and innovator in Philippine architecture. Nakpil's greatest contribution is his belief that there is such a thing as Philippine architecture reflective of Philippine tradition and culture. Nakpil's major works are the Jeronimo de los Reyes Building, Magsaysay Building, Rizal Theater, Capitol Theater, Captain Pepe Building, Manila Jockey Club, Rufino Building, Philippine Village Hotel, University of Philippines Administration and University Library, and the reconstructed Rizal House in Calamba, Laguna. Example of his artworks: Quezon Hall in UP Diliman and Quiapo Church. Francisco T. Manyosa, National Architecture and Allied Arts. Francisco Bobby Tronc Manyosa was a Filipino architect considered one of the most influential Filipino architects of the 20th century for having pioneered the art of Philippine vernacular architecture. Manyosa's contribution to architecture, spanning for more than 6 decades, had enriched the Philippine culture and identity. His works is boasted indigenous designs and how the endemic crafts was superior in itself, as well as imbuing Philippine identity through materials and processing. Some of his artworks are San Miguel Corporation Head Office and Coconut Palace. Ramon Valera, National Artist for Fashion Design 2006. The contribution of Ramon Valera, whose family hails from Abra, lies in the tradition of excellence of his works and his commitment to his profession, performing his magical seminal innovations on the Philippine terno. Valera produced a single piece of clothing from a four-piece ensemble consist of a blouse, skirt, overskirt, and long scarf. He unified the components of the Bharat Saya into a single dress with exaggerated belt sleeves, cinched at the waist, grazing the ankle, and zipped up at the back, using zipper in place of hooks. Valera constructed the terno's butterfly sleeves, giving them a solid built-in but hidden support at the root. Butterfly sleeves became the terno's defining features. Francisca Reyes Aquino, National Artist for Dance 1970. Francisca Reyes Aquino is acknowledged as the folk dance pioneer. Liz Balakenya began her research on folk dances in 1920s, making trips to remote barrios in central and northern Luzon. Her research on the unrecorded forms of local celebration, ritual, and sport resulted into a 1926 thesis titled Philippines Folk Dances and Games, and arranged specifically for use by teachers and playground instructors in public and private schools. Served as supervisor of physical education, and in 1954 she received the Republic Award of Merit given by the late President Ramon Magsaysay for outstanding contribution toward the advancement of Filipino culture. Ramon Obusan, a Filipino dancer. Ramon Arevalo Obusan was a Filipino dancer, choreographer, stage designer, and artistic director. Obusan is credited for his work in promoting Philippine traditional dance and cultural work. He also an acclaimed activist, researcher, and documentary filmmaker who focused on Philippine culture. The Ramon Obusan Folk Group was founded in 1972 and started out as a Flandin folk dance. Reyes National Dance. Alice Reyes is a Filipino dancer, choreographer, teacher, director, and producer. The founder of the Ballet Philippines, she received since June 2014 from the Philippine President Benigno Aquino III the highest award in the arts, National Artist of the Philippines. As a dancer, choreographer, teacher, and director, she had made a lasting impact on the development and promotion of contemporary dance. Leonor Ogoquinco, National Dance Artist. Leonor was a Filipino national artist and creative dancer who was also known for breaking tradition within dance. She played the piano, drew art, designed scenery and costumes, sculpted, acted, directed, danced, and choreographed. Leonor was the first Filipino choreographed ballet to the music of well-known foreign composers. The first to utilize Filipino traditions, themes, stories, and music in her dance programs, and the first to stylize Philippine ethnic dances and weave them into elaborate theatrical dance production. Lucrecia Reyes Urtula, National Artist for Dance. Lucrecia was a Filipino choreographer, theater director, teacher, author, and researcher on ethnic dance. She was the founding director of the Bayanihan Philippine National Folk Dance Company and was named National Artist of the Philippines for the Advance in 1988. Lucrecia is a choreographer, dance educator, and researcher spent almost 4 decades in the discovery and study of Philippine folk and ethnic dance culture that goes beyond simple preservation and into creative growth. She had choreographed suits of mountain dance, Spanish-influenced dances, Muslim pageants and festivals, regional variations, and dances of the countryside, of which she was the dance director. These dances have all earned critical acclaim and reviews from audiences in their world tours in America, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Africa. Carlos Quirino, Philippine biographer and historian. Carlos is a biographer, has the distinction of having written one of the earliest biographies of Jose Rizal, the Great Malayan. During his lifetime, his prize-winning biography, The Great Malayan, was one of the earliest English-language biographies on Jose Rizal. Carlos' books and articles span the whole gamut of Philippine history and culture, from Bonifacio's trials to Aguinaldo's biography. His books, Map and Views of Old Manila, is considered as the best book in the subject. Quirino wrote dozens of books in Philippine history and culture, covering topics as diverse of war, politics, art, business, and agriculture.